Good evening, fellow galactic aficionados. I am Dr. Fraser Crane, and this is the Smuggler's Cantina, where high culture meets hyperspace. Here, nestled between the spice lanes of Kessel and the philosophical quandaries of the Jedi Code, we gather to explore the rich, sprawling mythos of Star Wars, all whilst politely steering clear of that most contentious of timelines, the sequel trilogy. From the moral complexities of Anakin Skywalker's fall, to the finer points of Clone Wars diplomacy, to the rustic charm of Mos Eisley's most questionable patrons, we leave no stone or stormtrooper helmet unturned. So holster your blasters, ignite your lightsabers, and pour yourself a glass of Corellian brandy. You've just stepped into the Smuggler's Cantina, where the only thing more dangerous than a Sith is a poorly constructed narrative arc.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Yesterday, Sparrow and Cameron had a chat. Cameron wrote up a real quick report on the blog, and there will be a link in the description of this video. A lot was said about Gina and some other rather hilarious news. And there's some other things I want to talk about. Very interesting, the fact that it seems like Lucasfilm is very happy that they've got Gina back. The deal is for her to be in a co-star in a show, and there might be a movie. I don't know. John and Dave are ecstatic, apparently. And I was on Jason Hunt's open mic hour on his channel, Sci-Fi for You, and he reminded me that there was a story out there that Jon Favreau went to Bob Iger and said, "You either get her back or I'm gone." And I think there was a lot of impetus on Disney's half, at least from the CEO, to move this trial along. The agreement is, like I said, both sides came to an agreement. They filed the papers. It's just very short. There are only 3 documents, and you guys saw them on yesterday's video. And that's it. And all the judge has to do is sign off on it, and I'm sure she will. I heard that she was a Trump appointee, the judge. So it's probably a good idea that they settled, because she probably would have been very interested to see just how bad the harassment and the attacks on Gina really were. And Disney and Lucasfilm could not afford that. So it looks to me that with Gina coming back, the wind is in the sails again. And also, there's value in having her in Star Wars, apparently. Marvel's thinking about her. DC has been eyeing her, which, stay away from James Gunn. Just, I know people like him, but he has shown up on a list of kitty people on Reddit, and I kind of believe it. And also, Cameron's other Marvel insider, Phoenix, basically said that when all this came out, Phoenix came out and said to Cameron, Pedro's not happy. Pedro being Pedro Pascal. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know if that's true or not, and I kind of don't believe it. the reason why is Gina and Pedro were really good friends, and he basically told her that she always protected people, and she stood up for him, and he apologized for not sticking up for her when he should have. That to me at least gives him a little bit of humanity, even though the fetish about fingernails and that ass grabbery that goes on with him. Just don't fucking touch me, okay? All right, just don't. A little dweeb. Anyway, but there's another thing that came out, Sparrow said, and you guys are going to love this, but I'll wait to tell you. After this lovely word from our favorite Corellian scoundrel, Han Solo.
All right, listen up. I don't usually give speeches. I'm more of a shoot first, talk later kind of guy, but when it comes to Stephanie Janicek and the Smuggler's Cantina, even a guy like me has to speak up. Now, I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other, and I've seen a lot of smugglers, rebels, and scoundrels trying to make a name for themselves. But Stephanie, she's the real deal. Sharp as a vibroblade, wise enough to see through the glitter-stim smoke, and bold enough to say what most wouldn't dare on the whole net. The Smuggler's Cantina, it's not just another backwater outpost. It's a place where real fans can kick back, talk shop, and hear the truth about the galaxy we love. No filters, no agendas. Just pure passion, starfighter fast wit, and enough firepower to blast a star destroyer's ego down to size. So, if you haven't tuned in yet, what are you waiting for? Now punch it over to the Smuggler's Cantina. You'll find in sight honesty and a voice the galaxy needs right now. Stephanie, from one scruffy-looking nerve herder to another. Keep flying fast, keep speaking your mind, and may the Force be with you. Always.
So, here's the latest on the Kathleen Kennedy saga at Lucasfilm. Apparently, her secretary had a cubicle in the presidential suite, and she's been moved out of there, and Jon Favreau's assistant has been moved in, right? So we have that. And I find it fascinating, considering that the rumors that came out when Matt Bellany announced that Kennedy was leaving, and pretty much all of Hollywood knew it, which is why THR put out successor lists out there. And the one that I was intrigued by the most is Favreau and Filoni. Favreau being the head of the company, Filoni being the vice president, and just, the creative guy. I don't know where they put Kennedy's secretary, probably in a cubicle on another floor. I think it's hilarious. I feel sorry for the girl, but this is what happens. All right. And look, Kennedy should have resigned and left in 2023. All right. 2018, she should have hung her head in disgrace and left. But this is what we have, okay? So what is going on now? Well, apparently, Kathy was with her husband at Oscar, the play the Broadway play he produced that is now playing in London's West End, which is like their version of Broadway. Oscar is about Oscar Levant, and Sean Hayes is in it. The guy that played the really effeminate gay guy in Will and Grace. So it's, whatever, we have this going on, right? And, you know, a lot of people have left. In fact, I see 2 in this picture, maybe more. Pippa Anderson and Rain Roberts. So is Kennedy now hanging out in London? Is she just living there? You know, they still own the house in the Palisades. You know, but you remember they sold that art collection, and unlike George, they didn't just donate it to a museum; they sold it. So she needed the money. Money was desperately needed, I think. But are they on there now, late summer vacation? They usually leave for well over a month in this time of year. So maybe we'll see pictures of them from, you know, the Mediterranean islands, off of Spain, maybe Italy, maybe Provence, etc. I don't know, but she's a figurehead. She's a figurehead, and the rumor is that she's going to stay until January 1st. Just get paid. She's not doing anything. She's basically in the spot as a caretaker, just as a placeholder. All right, not caretaker, a placeholder, and that's it. Right? There's also another rumor out there, and I think it was Stacey Ballard who put it on Cameron's Patreon, that she was being courted by other film studios to produce their movies. Heat 2, remember the Robert De Niro, Al Pacino vehicle? That's one of the people behind that are courting her. So don't be surprised if she just says, fuck it, I'm done, and leaves. Don't be surprised, because that could be in the works here. It's all just very interesting to me. I am really not going to be surprised if that happens. If she gets a deal and she's like, I don't need to do this anymore. I'm not running Lucasfilm anyway. So she moves off to being producer. You know, she can couch it any way she wants. Robert Evans did the same thing. He gave up running Paramount to be a producer because he wanted his name on the poster. Right? And so she could couch it that way. And there you go. But I don't know what her thought process is. Maybe her vacation in London will help her sort through it. I don't know. Anyway, so I wanted to tell you guys all this. Sparrow gave a really great summary of everything that's been going on. And I'm going to say it. Jon Favreau is the head of Lucasfilm, whether anybody wants to believe it or not. So this is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.